Okay, hello everyone. What was it? Oh, hang on. I'm just going to go to the war room first, just see what's been done. Inquisitor, the demon was clever enough to impersonate everyone, from Seeker, Pantagast to the chief to even me at one point. But we caught it and put it down. There wasn't much left of the body after we killed the thing, but it had missives with useful information. Most of them confirmed what we already knew. The Elder One planning to kill Empress Celine and march an army of demons across Aurelis. But I will pass them to Sister Liane, regardless. The demon also held some items in the Inquisition might find handy. Hope they help. It would be really good if the available ones were highlighted. Oh, I've still got 2 hours on that one. To serve any master. Inquisitor, here's an interesting thing. Among the various things we found at Kia Brockrock that belonged to its former mercenary inhabitants was a journal, and in it I found mention of several high-placed clerks in the Imperial Counting House, who are, shall we say, known for their loose tongues. They sell what they know to mercenaries seeking to outbid others for work. But should we dispatch agents to speak with them, it would take very little pressure to have them work exclusively for us. The agents would need to remain to watch over our movements, but I've been trying to place eyes on these positions for years. Okay, so Josephine can do this.
At your service.
Okay. Upon the waking sea, the Alamari ruins found in the mountain passages outside Haven have finally given up more of their secrets, pointing to one of the larger islands off the northern coast of Floridin. The island is quite large and covered in dense wilderness, so searching it will be an involved process. According to the ruins, however, there should be some connection to the original disciples of Andraste and the guardian of the sacred ashes. Okay, fine. This requires stealth, as few skilled agents given enough time to quietly search the islands. Okay, fine, let's get Leon.
Let's see what we have.
Wicked eyes and wicked hearts. Right, I'll do that. I won't do that yet. I want to finish off some of the areas first before I do that one. Let's just check inventory first. Let me go and sell some of these items. Hi Jonah, how are you? Oh, let's sell that. And sell that. I'll give him the Inquisition Scout hat, I think. Okay, and Dory can have that one. I can give that Soul Kisser to Blackwell. And then just get rid of the Ancestral Blade.
trying to step on your toes, you know.
Okay, and now I will go to the Emerald Graves, I think. I don't think I had a look at the merchant, did I? Cassandra, Varric, and then Solus. Okay, so I'm here, and now I want to talk to the merchant.
I'm standing because of you. I've little to give, but I'll always be grateful.
Okay, how were you captured?
How did you end up in the Viridium mine?
Oh. We desperately needed supplies and tried to steal some from the freemen. The mine didn't seem well guarded, and I used to be in the militia in my home village. I don't know why we weren't killed. I do remember Sister Costeau talking about sending us to the Emprise de Lyon. Maybe I was mistaken. I can't imagine what they'd do with us there.
Okay, how have things been?
I hope things are going well.
The supplies we salvaged from Costeau's mine have been a great help. Thank you again for saving us.
Okay, let's have a look and see what they got. Yeah, I didn't have anything good that I wanted.
Inquisitor, you saved Gertrude and the others. Thank you so much. This is bold of me, but if I could have a moment.
Okay,
I'd like to know more
about
about you and the rest of the people here.
Most of us are simple folk. Farmers,
Yeah, I'm
fishermen,
doing well, thanks.
Ojulena
How are you?
is a smith. Just people trying to escape the war.
I heard you finished your raid. Well done. Congratulations on that.
What else do you know about Fairbanks?
He is a good man. He found us when we most needed him. He kept us safe. He doesn't like to talk about himself, so I actually don't know much about him.
Okay, what do you need?
I'm here. What do you need?
This is about Fairbanks. There is a rumor that he is of noble
That's good if
blood.
you can get a party
Once
that'll
the war
stick
is
to
over,
that long.
many of us will return to serve our lords, to work their fields, raise their brats. Most of the aristocracy know little of the lives of commoners. They care nothing for us. Fairbanks is different. He is a great man. There is much he could do if he had the power. If the rumor is true, if Fairbanks is noble and we have proof... Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay, has Fairbanks heard the rumor?
Does Fairbanks know about this rumor?
He doesn't like it. And he won't let me discuss it. Stubborn ass.
This rumor you mentioned.
The rumor about Fairbanks being noble. What do you want me to do about it?
Oh, I don't mean to impose, but you travel all over the Dales, don't you? Perhaps if you found something that could help. I've written everything I know in my journal. You can look at it.
Right, okay.
Goodbye.
Right, let's read her journal. Okay, Lord Durock's Larmake's only daughter fell in love with a cavalier in the service of Lord Durock's enemy, and ended up with his child. Lord Durock was furious and turned Bernice out of their arrow. Then he had her lover assassinated. Awful. Bernice never returned to her father and fled to the Dales. Her child was stillborn, but Lord Durock eventually regretted what he had done, and on his deathbed left all lands and titles to her and all her offspring. Why would he have done that if he was certain the child had died? I can't stop thinking about it. What if Fairbanks is really the Lamarca baby? Imagine all the good he could do if he was noble and inherited that fortune. But having him reinstated will take proof. After all, I've heard of the Council of Heralds. There can be no doubt. Maybe the medallion, but anyone could have a trinket like that. There could be something here in the Dells to help me prove it, but I wouldn't know where to start. Okay. Yeah, I saw some of the raid that you did. It looked interesting.
Did you eat?
Alright, let's go and do this first, I think.
Maybe. Make her be with you.
The Inquisition will always be welcome here.
This war has gone on too long. Sister Cousteau's dead. Hope she died slow.
must be something here.
Okay, I have to look inside, don't I?
Here, let me try.
Dalheim's notes. The shipments are prepared, and once again the rats from Watcher's Reach are getting in my way. One woman got far enough into my camp to look into the crates, scrounging for food, no doubt. Sneaky little peasants. Perhaps traps next time. Okay, I'm going to keep that. I think it might be quite good. If I can get the other pieces for it. A midwife's journal. This time-worn diary was found amongst more valuable items. It is bound in leather and has a solid silver trim, which might be why it was saved. A few entries can still be made out. This has been the coldest winter I can remember. Even the river is frozen. No one should be out there, not in this blizzard. So you can imagine my surprise when there was a knock on my gate. A young woman. She's looking for the Fairbanks cottage. I go out. I say to her, nothing fair about this weather, but yes, you are at the right place. She throws back her cloak, and I see she is heavy, less than 2 weeks away. Please help. She is almost in tears. I bring her into the house and sit her by the fire with some tea and slippers. She is young, not more than 20. Her hands are smooth. They have not seen a day of work in her life. Her clothes are travel-stained but fine. The cloak must be worth at least 50 royals. Beautiful blue trimmed with flax fur. Her name is Bernice, but she won't say more. Many girls come here not wanting to say who they are. I understand. Bernice has had the baby, a boy, healthy, full head of hair. She named him Everest. She tried to pay me with a heavy gold locket, a falcon at its face. I asked her what it was. It looks valuable. She says it's her father's, and she doesn't care to have it anymore. I tell her she might not, but her son might one day want to know where he's from. A new year. Bernice should be healthy enough to leave, but it is still cold, and I just cannot turn her out. I will ask her to stay and be my assistant. I have needed help for a while. My fingers are not as nimble as they used to be. Clever girl. She will make a fine apprentice. Okay, let's try and kill this one. Scribbled notes. Did you hear? Sister Costu is following. I'm surprised it took so long. She was soft. Unfortunately, we also lost the rats we were going to send to Saladin. We have to make sure this doesn't happen again. Okay. Alright, so there's some more of them over there that I can kill. Oh, there's 2 archers. Okay, so I need to get the key. Probably going to be around here somewhere. Okay, I can't claim it just yet.
Flank their position.
Let's take out the big guy now.
Bring me more. Stand and fight.
What does he think I'm doing?
I want the warrior.
It's always remarkable how some will take advantage of chaos to further their own cause.
Right, so I've got the key. And the great axe. I'll have a look at that in a minute. The betrayer. Even Mathran, the betrayer, had a part to play. Who are we to say the elves do not? Alright, let me just have a look at the character record. Okay, there doesn't seem to be anything I really want at the moment. Let's have a look at the axe. It's not as good as the one I've already got. Daheim's notes. Augusta has made progress in the exalted planes. We are together in this, but Maker's breath. How that irks me. That weapon, or whatever secret is hidden in those glyphs, is mine by rights. Maleficent trusts me most. Bah, he won't have it. Not while I live. An old painting in a carved wooden frame. Paint is roughed off in some places. Carved into the back of the frame. Lord Girix Lemark. The portrait shows the Lord as he must have looked over 40 years ago. He bears a striking resemblance to Fairbanks. Okay. Okay, so let's just go into the villa now.
The Freemen's leader should be up here. This place has seen better days.
These men are thugs. What do you expect?
I haven't heard anything from the plane. Have you?
No, nothing recent anyway.
Make her take you!
Pages from Lord Moriel's journal, the journal of one of the villa's former owners. The current occupants tossed it aside. Artem as the very soul of discretion. I could have a Templar to dinner and they would be none of it wiser. If the Templars haven't gone off to do Maker knows what, I might try it. Valerie complains, but the Empress herself was such an advisor. Why not me? His services are useful, and no one could better ensure our security, no matter what. The distractions of the city will ease our minds soon enough.
Take them down!
Alright, there's two more coming behind me. And two more on the left.
That seems to be the last of them.
I'm guessing that was the man in charge.
We've struck a blow against the free men.
From what we've heard, I'm not sorry to see him go.
Red Templar correspondence. Tell your men to watch out for the Inquisition. The Elder One has had enough of their meddling. Alert bearing the Templar seal, Red Templar ordered. Have a chat with Maleficent. Make sure everything is running smoothly. While there, see if any of his men might wish to volunteer the service in the Empress du Lion. We could always use a few more. Be discreet. Maleficent's still useful. I doubt he'd remain so if he thinks we're stealing his soldiers.
Seems we interrupted their meeting with the Templars.
They weren't expecting us. Whatever they came for might still be here.
This is a really nice place. I wonder if I can get it. Maybe use it as a summer home for the Inquisition.
There must be something here.
The Exalted March of the Dales. The Chantry story of the Exalted March of the Dales paints this picture of the righteous faithful arrayed against the heathen savages. But I've long studied the Dales, and I find the acceptable version of the tale to be a poor one, laden with over pro-Chantry and pro-human biases. Thus it is my moral imperative to propose an alternative interpretation, that the Exalted March of the Dales was nothing more than an expansionist ploy hiding behind the mask of faith. It is easy to see on any map how large the Dales are. More importantly, they stand between Noralis and the rest of the south, and would likely have represented a significant obstacle to the Empire's expansion into Ferelden. Naturally, we stood to benefit from propagating the narrative of a hostile, unreasoning people, attacking innocent missionaries and making blood sacrifices of good and Dristrian babies. The likely truth is that the Elves merely wish to maintain sovereignty over lands promised to them by blessed Andraste herself, when the humans showed clear intent to undermine their autonomy. Of course, the Elves reacted by becoming increasingly isolationist, which suited the Empire perfectly. Here was a kingdom that spurned diplomatic overtures and that refused to lend and aid during the Second Blight, when the Darkspawn attacked Mont Simrad. The Dalish kingdom could not be anything but a dormant threat, one that needed to be crushed before it woke. Scholars point to the massacre at Red Crossing as the impetus for the Chantry's declaration of an exalted march on the Elven kingdom in the Dales. They conveniently ignore the fact that no one alive truly knows what happened at Red Crossing, or why the Elves attacked. The Chancery's response to the Elven aggression that resulted in the slaughter of hundreds was predictable. But in light of my thesis, perhaps we should re-examine the events of Red Crossing and wonder if the attack was truly unprovoked, or whether it is possible that someone saw benefit in sacrificing an entire village to justify the subjugation of an entire people. From a new perspective on the Exalted March, a pamphlet by an anonymous author, published by the University of Orales in 912 Dragon. A letter to Malifant. Malifant, I'm sending men to discuss some changes. It's nothing dire. You'll find the demands perfectly reasonable. Willing to compensate you for any inconvenience. I want our relationship to be mutually beneficial. It's been going so well, each of us with our crusades.
Part of a key.
Okay,
There's a
part of the
rune
key, so
inscribed on it. Or part of one.
right, okay, I need to go and find some more parts of that key, I think.
Red lyrium.
They must have been smuggling it for the Templars.
Not anymore.
Malifant's journals. Malifant kept several journals. This one details the founding of the Freemen of the Dells. August and I have established outposts in the Emerald Groves. We are spreading the word to both armies. I'm sick of good Orlesian men and women dying for someone else's cause. It ends now. Oralis should belong to us, the people who defend our borders, who till our fields. If we're to fight and kill for something, let it be that. Several pages later, Templars approached us. They are not the order I knew, but they have offered weapons and gold if we help bring their supplies through the Emerald Groves. If we are to free the Dells from the grasp of the nobility, we need what they have to offer. It's a deal with the demon, but our cause is worthwhile. An official appraisal. A note addressed to the villa's former owner lies next to an unusual device. Lord Muriel, I posed a few questions to my contacts in the White Spire. Discreetly, of course, lest they want the peace for themselves. From what I can gather, the device, strictly Double-Irium Epilarian, is meant to restore broken runes. They are not widely used. Some suggest that if the rune were fixed to an object, the device could restore the item itself, although I was unable to confirm the truth of this. This is purely academic, as it requires a mage to function. It is nevertheless a rare prize, prized among the collectors of curiosities. I trust you are pleased with the purchase. Sincerely, Emily Fabre, collector and purveyor of unique ephemeria. Okay, so once I get the 3 fragments, I place them over here. What's this new accessory? And trusted sacrifice. Alright, fine, I'll give it a Solus. Have I got any decent armour that Solus could have? No, not really. Right, so I need to get more of the rune keys. Okay, that's one more key fragment. Let's have a look in here. Lady Muriel's diary. The diary of one of the villa's former owners. The current occupants tossed it roughly aside. All this fuss over Jaspard and Celine. The talk was amusing enough. Now we hear conflicts between the Imperial Army and the soldiers supporting that usurper. The thought of them coming here is frightful. Mother is right. Our most fashionable acquaintances will somewhere in the city. We should do the same. Raymond is stubborn, of course. All his little tricks and trinkets are here. I indulge his eccentricities, mostly to annoy Mother, but we cannot have everything sent to Valro. On such short notice, he does insist we keep Artem on. He refuses to do without the man's service. Says, I suppose he views Artem as another piece of his collection. Still, such a devotion to a servant. Right, okay. Let's have a look. See if there's anything on the map to suggest where next bit. Oh, okay. It's over here. Yeah, I'm going in the right direction. Okay, I can't go to that wing from this part, so I might have to go from the other part. Maleficent's journals. Maleficent kept several journals. This one spans the time Maleficent spent as a sergeant in the Imperial Army. I see Laurence's death in my mind all the time. The man who killed her, one of the usurper's soldiers, was familiar. I wouldn't be surprised if I once shared a drink with him. Isn't that how it is now? Brother against brother? The priest told me to remember Laurence's life, not her death. So I tried to recall years past, the countless times she saved me. The day we first met, when I was a young recruit, who almost pissed himself at her barked orders. Because of her, I learned discipline and control. She instilled in me pride in what we did. She taught me how to use the sword. More importantly, she taught me how to keep it sheathed. She was fearless, strong, regal, and she was cut down like a common peasant by someone we may have once known. Will anyone remember her? Will Celine? Some pages later. There is a new soldier in our battalion, Gordian. He's an odd fellow, with an accent I can't place, like he'd spent time in the marches. Doesn't matter. In the end, he's been a comfort listening to me talk about those who died. He also lost friends in Celine's war, and he's tired like we are. He said a very wise thing. There is no war without soldiers. The Empress can't wage her war if we refuse to fight. Oralis should belong to the Orlesians. Okay, so I'm close to the rune key now. Right. So I'm going to have to go back and fix the key now. So hang on, I went in here, pressed A. Oh. I need to get Solus to energize it.
So here's where they kept the good
There
stuff.
must be some good loot. trying to see what I can get rid of. Might as well just get rid of these, I think. Okay, so I'll go and destroy the red lyrium now. Okay, I'm going to have to stop streaming there, folks. Thank you all for joining, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow.